Powerful figures throughout history, from kings to religious leaders, have sometimes wanted to be loved and praised too much. And every time they tried to be adored, they lost the very thing they needed to survive: power. Being liked isn't free. It comes with invisible strings, tying you to what others expect. If you're not careful, these strings become thick ropes. They pull you in directions you never wanted to go. They silence your true feelings. They force you to make choices for the crowd instead of for what's truly important. That's why truly powerful people never chase being liked. They chase results. They chase control. They chase outcomes that are so clear and strong that being liked simply doesn't matter. Fear versus love in leadership pay, famous thinker once wrote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved if one must choose." People often misunderstand this. They think it means you should be mean or evil. That's wrong. What it really means is much tougher. Being liked comes with conditions, eh? But being respected or feared in a good way gives you freedom. Love comes with rules. It can make you soft. It can make you bend. The people who like you today will ask for things tomorrow. They'll expect you to act a certain way, to choose safety over risk, peace over conflict, and to compromise instead of being strong. If you stop meeting their expectations, they won't just stop liking you. They'll start to resent you. Just ask any famous person who tried to please everyone. It always ends the same way. Praise turns into demands. Demands become traps, and traps lead to anger. But respect, or a certain kind of fear, doesn't ask for anything. It respects you in silence. It watches your next move. It doesn't try to change you because it knows it can't. And that is what true power really is: the ability to act without needing anyone's permission. Why powerful people don't seek approval? Why do powerful people avoid trying to be liked? Because being liked requires permission. Every smile you earn, every compliment you get is like a small vote. And votes can be taken away. They make you fragile, dependent, and easily influenced. History shows leaders trading smart plans for flattery. They saw powerful groups crumble because their leaders cared too much about being popular. The core truth is this: the more people like you, the more they believe they control you. But the more people respect you, the more you get to control yourself. Think about leaders who changed history, not just old ones, but modern figures too. The ones who shook things up, the visionaries, the ones who didn't wait to be liked. They weren't always popular, and yet they moved the world. Why? Because they didn't ask for permission to lead. They didn't beg for applause. They didn't make decisions based on what everyone else wanted. They chose power over approval. How to apply this in your life? Let's imagine you're in a room full of people, a meeting, a family gathering, on a stage, whatever. You have a choice. Say what they want to hear, or say what needs to be said. The weak person tries to get a laugh, a nod, applause. The powerful person aims for control. Sometimes that control means you have to be seen as unlikable, to challenge ideas, to confront issues, to make others a little uncomfortable. Not because you're mean, but because you're connected to a deeper truth. In such a moment, a powerful mindset would whisper, if you have to challenge someone, do it in a way that they can't effectively fight back. This isn't about violence. About how you use your mind when you act with authority, calm, clear, precise. You don't need to be liked because you've already won the one thing liking can't give you: control over your own image. What do you lose when you try too hard to be liked? You water down your words. You delay important choices. You hide your true ambitions. You compromise with people who don't even respect you. You hide your intensity to avoid making others uncomfortable. And worst of all, you go against your own instincts just to keep the group happy. This is like a slow death by trying to please everyone. Embrace being disliked strategically. Powerful people don't avoid being disliked. They actually use it strategically. They choose their challenges carefully. They create some resistance too. Show their strength. Because in the game of power, if everyone likes you, you're not doing anything real. You're just putting on a show. So how do you start living this way? Stop apologizing for having strong opinions. Weak minds are often bothered by clear statements. Stop explaining your big ideas to people who can't see past their own problems. Stop sacrificing your future. Just to avoid temporary discomfort right now, start making people choose. They can like you or they can respect you. But either way, they'll respect you if you never back down. Because in the end, power isn't about being surrounded by smiles. It's about being surrounded by silence, the kind that comes from knowing you've earned your place without needing permission. That's what powerful individuals have always known. And it's what the world still responds to. The illusion of likability's desire to be liked is a weakness disguised as a good quality. Society praises it. Schools teach it. Families enforce it. But underneath that need to be accepted is the chain by which the powerful control many people. It's not just a flaw, it's a trap. Truly insightful people see through it. They don't aim to be the good person. They aim to win. They understand that acting too moral, when used incorrectly, becomes a trap, a set of rules designed to make you doubt yourself while your rivals move forward without hesitation. So when you try to be liked, what are you really doing? You're asking for emotional safety. You're trading clear action for comfort. You're saying, please approve of me, instead of saying, here's what I'm doing. Watch me succeed. Once you make that trade, you've already lost authority. This is why truly powerful people don't crave your approval. They respect one thing only: control. And any friendliness they show is a planned tactic, not a true need. The predictable trap of being likable when you try to be liked. You become predictable because people know you won't risk being rejected. You become easy to influence because they know exactly what buttons to push to keep you behaving. You become replaceable because if you're acting like everyone else, kind, agreeable, humble, then what makes you different? A truly strategic person would never aim to be liked. They would aim to be remembered, respected, admired from a distance. Not because they lack empathy, but because they understand this rule. Too much familiarity breeds disrespect, but distance creates awe. They might show a bit of charm, yes, but only if it helps their goal. They might smile, but never to fit in. They might agree, but never to give up control. Every action serves a larger plan, not insecurity. Here's where most people go wrong. They think being likable is safe, but nothing is more dangerous. Because when you're likable, you attract people who want things from you. People who expect you to always be the same. People who feel they have a right to your time and energy. And once they feel they have a right, they start demanding that. You make yourself smaller, say less, do less, be less ambitious, be more acceptable, more humble, commanding respect. But truly powerful individuals don't serve humility. They serve their goals. They know how the game really works. The moment someone starts controlling how you're allowed to behave, even in small ways, you've already been conquered. This is why the truly powerful don't crave affection. Crave leverage. They understand something crucial. If you have to ask for someone's loyalty, their love, their trust, it's not real. It's a performance. It'll disappear the moment you say something they don't like. So what did powerful thinkers teach instead? They taught how to build a reputation that demands attention without asking for it. One built not on softness, but on intentional sharpness, on being bold when others hesitate, on being respected even when misunderstood, on being untouchable, not universally adored. The most captivating people, the ones the world can't stop watching, are not the ones who try to be liked. They are the ones who show inner strength. The ones who speak truth without hesitation, who walk into a room without needing to adjust to its mood because they are the dominant energy. That presence comes from one thing: emotional independence. The person who can make their own judgments, who doesn't need applause to know they are right, is the person others will eventually follow. And yes, people will resist you at first. They'll say you're arrogant, cold, harsh, but that's not the truth. That's their own weakness, reacting to your strength. Because deep down, everyone wants to follow someone who doesn't bend, no one trusts. The person who needs to be liked by everyone. Because if you need everyone, you'll betray anyone to get their approval. But if you can live without their applause, you become the one thing they can't control, and therefore the one thing they secretly respect the most. Power lingers. Love fades the people who run the world, who shape culture, who survive difficult times and attacks. They don't win because they're loved. They win because they are respected for their precision, their clarity, and their refusal to back down. The moment you stop needing to be liked, you unlock a completely different identity, one that doesn't put on a show, one that doesn't seek comfort in what everyone else agrees on, one that walks like it already knows the outcome. Because when you stop begging to be liked, you stop being liked by small-minded people and start being followed by powerful ones. That's the profound change. It's not about being good. It's about being unbreakable. The biggest false idea. It's the one that traps most people and leaves them wondering why, after years of being agreeable, it's polite and good, they still get walked all over. Is that being liked leads to being respected. This is a lie. The kind person, the forgiving person, the well-liked leader often ends up betrayed by their own people or defeated by enemies they thought were friends. Why? Because being liked doesn't earn you respect, it earns you expectations. People start to believe they have access to you, that they can guess what you'll do, that they can influence you. And the moment people believe they can influence you, you are no longer powerful. You are managed. If you want power, you must be respected first. And if that means being disliked, so be it. Being necessary versus being agreeable. Let's look at modern life. Who gets ahead? The person who keeps saying yes, smiling through disrespect, hoping to win people over, or the one who makes tough choices, sets boundaries, and walks away the moment disrespect appears. The latter might not be adored, but they are obeyed. They are watched. They are remembered. Because power isn't about everyone getting along. It's about a hierarchy. You can't climb it if you're worried about everyone clapping for you on the way up. In today's world, if people like you for being nice, they will replace you with someone nicer. But if they respect you for your strength, they'll be afraid of losing you. Niceness is replaceable. Respect isn't. You want to make yourself irreplaceable, stop being agreeable, start being necessary. And that begins by letting go of the desperate urge to please. The cost of seeking approval. Here's a dark truth. Those who seek to be liked often lose themselves to gain approval. They soften their words, weaken their beliefs, compromise their goals. And every time they do this, they think they're being smart, clever, polite. But in the eyes of the powerful, they're being something else entirely. Weak. Because if you're willing to give up your edge just to be accepted, what won't you? Give up under pressure? Truly powerful people don't play that game. They evaluate every relationship not by affection but by its usefulness. Does this person help me gain power? Do they have influence I don't? Will this connection protect my position or threaten it? If the answer was no, the bond was broken. No emotional speeches, no guilt, no long explanations. Because sentimentality is a luxury for those without power. Your own kingdom? What if you're not in a palace or a CEO? Does this still apply? Absolutely. Because everyone has a kingdom. It might be a group of friends, a workplace, an online community. But the game is the same. Those who lead don't give in to popular opinion. They command it. So let's say you walk into a room and everyone likes you. That might feel good. But ask yourself, what did I compromise to create that feeling? Did I avoid speaking up? Did I hide an unpopular truth? Did I flatter someone who didn't deserve it? Did I smile when I should have been silent? Every one of those moves makes you more liked and less powerful. You're becoming easy to reach, predictable, common, and this wisdom isn't for common people. It's for those who want to shape their world. The power of being unshakable. Here's another psychological twist. Being respected or feared in a positive sense doesn't mean being mean. It means being unshakable. It means people look at you and know that you will not back down. Not for opinions, not for comfort, not for social pressure. And because of that, they respect you before they even understand you. Your presence does the talking. But when you're obsessed with being liked, everything you do is a reaction. You wait for feedback. You change your tone. You ask yourself, will this offend them? Instead of asking, is this effective? The powerful person reverses this. They lead. Others adjust. Because if you want to be exceptional, you cannot base your actions on what average people expect. You might even be seen as controversial on purpose. Let people misunderstand you. Let them call you too direct, too ambitious, too cold. Why? Because when they label you, they acknowledge you. When they misunderstand you, they talk about you. And when they respect you, they don't try to manipulate you. Do you want loyalty? Make people admire your clarity. You want impact? Speak without hesitation. You want to be followed? Stop being liked. Start being impossible to ignore. Because in the struggle for power, the most dangerous person isn't the one who gets applause. It's the one who doesn't need it. The prison of likability. You want to be powerful? Then understand this. The need to be liked is the most appealing prison ever built. It's not enforced by chains, but by compliments. Not guarded by soldiers, but by smiles. And worst of all, you'll never realize you're in it until it's too late. Because being liked feels good. Feels like progress, approval, security. You walk into rooms and people greet you, laugh at your jokes, nod when you speak, praise your behavior. You begin to believe you're doing something right. But a wise observer would look you dead in the eye and say, you are not building power. You are building dependence. And when the crowd shifts, when the favor fades, when your smile is no longer enough, they will discard you like you never mattered. You think you're playing the social game well, but they see you as manageable. And the moment you stop being manageable, they turn on you. This is why the core truth remains timeless. Trying to be liked forces you to live by someone else's rules. And that makes you easy to break. History is full of people with good reputations, who died powerless. People who were too afraid to be disliked, too desperate to be liked, too loyal to their public image. They never made a real move, never took a necessary risk, never set a boundary that might offend someone. They died clean, polite, and powerless, building an unbreakable presence. So what did truly powerful individuals do differently? They built themselves like a weapon. They sharpened their personality into something you couldn't ignore. They didn't chase being liked. They chased presence. Because once you build a presence so unique, so strong, so steady, people have no choice but to adapt to you. They may not like you, but they'll never overlook you, never underestimate you, never forget you. And that is far more powerful than love. Love fades. Respect lingers. People often misunderstand the idea of being respected more than loved. They think it means being cruel, but that's not it at all. It means this: love is unreliable. Respect from a position of power is predictable. When people love you, they choose to give you power, and they can choose to take it back. But when people respect you, when they're careful not to disappoint you, cross you, or disrespect you, you've already won. Because now they act differently when you're around. They control themselves. They are careful around your quiet moments. They treat your attention like gold and your words like law. That is the unseen power built not through charm, but through certainty. Certainty in yourself. Certainty in your direction. Certainty that you don't need to be liked to be obeyed. The more likable you are, the more replaceable you become. Because there will always be someone more charming than you, more agreeable, more entertaining, more humble, more easygoing. But when you walk into a room and refuse to play that game, when you let your calm, strong presence do the talking, you build a unique identity that no one else can copy. They may copy your words, your tone, your image, but they cannot copy your emotional distance. They can't fake the confidence that comes from not caring who approves. Truly powerful people use likability as a tactic, never as a need. If they smile, it's planned. If they compliment, it serves a purpose. If they back down, it's because doing so gives them a better grip on control. But the moment someone thinks their approval can be bought, they cut ties quietly, completely. Because power doesn't beg, it withdraws. And when you withdraw your energy from those who expect you to please them, their reaction shows everything. Watch how fast they turn bitter, how quickly they accuse you of arrogance, how loudly they call you cold. Not because you did something wrong, because you reminded them they never truly had control over you in the first place. The modern world and power. Look at our world today. Everyone is performing for likes. Everyone is polishing their image. Everyone is addicted to applause. And in that obsession with being liked, they give away every bit of their freedom. They censor their truth. They weaken their strength. They pretend to be humble as if it's currency. But true power looks down on that. It asks one question: does it make people obey you? Because if it doesn't, it's worthless. If your likability doesn't protect your position, it's a weakness. If your kindness doesn't command loyalty, it's just a show. If your humility invites disrespect, it's a slow, hidden death. You don't need to be hated. That's not the point. But you must be indifferent to being liked. That's the key. Indifference is your armor. Because once you stop needing to be liked, you can finally say what needs to be said, do what needs to be done, remove those who need to be removed, demand what you're owed. Walk away from disrespect without explaining a single thing. No hesitation, no guilt, no apology. And when you do that long enough, people stop testing you. They stop pushing your boundaries. Stop wondering where you stand, because now they know you are not there for affection. You are there for influence. The ultimate power move here is the final unexpected twist. Once you stop trying to be liked, people start chasing your approval. They sense that you don't need them. They feel that emptiness, and they want to fill it. They want you to like them, to notice them, to speak to them, because you flip the dynamic. The one who is seeking becomes the one who chooses. And that's where your true power begins. Not in control over others, but in emotional independence, so pure it surprises people. You become the one person who doesn't react to flattery, doesn't hesitate under pressure, doesn't break under judgment. And because of that, people start to see you as something more. Not just a person, but a force. Someone whose words carry weight, whose silence creates tension, whose disapproval hurts more than 10 compliments could ever soothe. And here's the surprising part. You might not be universally liked, but you will be respected, trusted, followed, and even loved by those few who truly understand what strength looks like. So if you want to build real power in business, in leadership, in life, here's your code. Never explain yourself just to be understood. Never soften your tone just to avoid offending someone. Never water down your truth for acceptance. Never smile to feel safe. Never agree just to keep the peace. Never act humble when you've earned your place. Never apologize for your strong personality. Never betray your own voice for the crowd's approval. Instead, speak with precision, act with indifference. Let people form opinions and ignore them. Let respect build in the quiet spaces where approval used to be. Let them fear your absence more than they desire your presence. That is how a truly powerful person walks through today's world. Not loud, not cruel, not arrogant, just unshakable. And when the applause fades, and the trends die, and the crowd forgets who made them laugh, they will remember the one who never needed to be liked in the first place. Because that is the only person whose name lasts. It's the one who led without asking for permission. The one who built great things with strong decisions, not smiles. The one who mastered the art of being respected. Not with violence, but with a vision so strong that no opinion could change it. That is the final lesson. Be respected, even if it costs you affection. I'll be powerful, even if it costs you friends. Be real, even if it costs you applause. Because applause ends, but power echoes.